In this third installment of the Dental Work Experience Quick Fire Round, we're going to talk about another element of work experience that is really, really important, and that is paid work. Like I say, quick fire, we're just going to go through the 6 key points that we need to touch, which are why you should do it, what and how long for, how often you should do it, how you go about arranging it, some important resources, and all importantly at the end, the action that you need to take while you're on it to maximize it and make the most out of it. If you want to look at the other 3 pieces that make a great dental work experience package, check out the entire playlist here. But today we're going to talk about paid work and why that matters. So the main reason paid work experience works well on your dental school application is that it shows 2 things. Firstly, transferable skills. There are many parallels that you can draw with any job really that you can relate to being a dentist. And I'll talk about some examples in a moment. But also one of the really big ones is responsibility. Paid work is your opportunity to demonstrate that you're a responsible person. We talked about shadowing in this video and then volunteering in another video, and those are fantastic bits of work experience. However, the shadowing, you're just a fly on the wall, and the volunteering, you kind of are, it's nice that you're there, but they're not relying on you to be there in the same way that you are when you do a paid job and you have responsibility. Paid work is your chance to show that you're dependable and reliable. And again, responsible in the sense that if you're working in a shop and they ask you to handle money, or let's say if you are given the keys to a shop and you're asked to lock up, these are things that, especially if you're young, if you're kind of 16, 17, 18, applying to dental school, these are things that not everybody is doing at that age. And it shows certain traits that they want to see that will go on to make a good dentist. Similar transferable skills that you might demonstrate are, let's say, if you are wait staff in a restaurant and obviously inevitably sometimes people complain about the food. That draws a lot of parallels with disgruntled patients. Even if you have the best dental practice in the world, sometimes patients get disgruntled. They're not happy that they've got toothache, they're not happy that they need a tooth extracted, and they'll try and take that out on you. And it's about kind of managing those difficult communication situations. And that's exactly a great example of how a job and the skills that you need to develop in that job transfer very nicely to the skills needed to make a good dentist. Okay, so next we'll talk about the what and the amount. Now, for somebody who's applying to be a dentist, there are lots of things that you can do. One of them would be to be a receptionist or work on reception at a dental practice. If you're allowed at the age of 16, 17, definitely at 18, that would be a fantastic way to just gain exposure to what goes on in a dental practice, at least get a rough understanding of what the lives of the dentists are like, and all of the stuff that goes around being in a dental practice. Anything that is patient-facing is a fantastic job. In the medical equivalent of this for people applying to medicine, I did talk in this video here about paid work, how working in a hospital and doing something that is patient-facing is a great way to gain exposure to patients. Although they're medical patients versus dental patients, the skills are exactly the same. So really worth doing something where you can get exposure to being in front of patients and conversing with them and dealing with them that are going to translate nicely again to you having some great skills as a dentist. In that video, I talk about exactly how to go about getting that kind of work. But also, like I say, anything from working in a shop or working as wait staff in a restaurant, these are all great jobs with great opportunities to develop those transferable skills. Equally, as we talked about in the volunteering section of this series, we talked about the minimum effective dose. It is really important that you maintain the balance between doing enough to have something to talk about and to develop those skills, but also not spending so much time that you're distracted from the important elements of the dental school application. If you want to find out what those 5 key dental school application elements are, check out this video here and find out how you can get support with all of that sort of stuff. So one of the sections we talked about was frequency, which, to my last point, it's all about little and often, demonstrating reliability, consistency, dedication, all of those nice buzzwords that show that you can stick to something. So then talking about the how, like I said, in that medicine version, I talked about exactly how you can get work in a hospital, but also using resources that we talked about in the shadowing version, which was NHS Choices. You've also got NHS Jobs that you can find some sort of housekeeping jobs, or whether it's serving the food in a hospital, but also you'll probably find practice jobs as well if you want to work as a receptionist. But NHS Choices will give you all of the practices in your radius so that you can then call them and see if they will take you on as a receptionist. Now, the most important thing of all of this is the action point that you need to take. Again, just the same as we talked about in the volunteering, it's just really important to capture any insights or any really amazing experiences or stories or cases or anything that is noteworthy. Just remember that you will forget the details, and the details are what make it a really great story or great thing that's going to help you get through your interview. So just capture all of those details and don't trust yourself to think that you'll remember them, because I promise you that you won't. So make sure that you're capturing that somewhere. Now, if you want to find out the other elements that make a really good dental school work experience package, check out this playlist here. Otherwise, if you would like some help with what is becoming an even more increasing dental school application, check out our program where we've got a ridiculous success rate with getting people into dental school at the first attempt. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you in one of those videos.